welcome back to this tutorial on cross-page testing in web development with Node.js. Last time I was trying to make a zombie.js application work. I could not make it work. I don't know, there was no working example for me, so now I'm looking for other ways. Looking for other ways to make be able to cross-page test. I have the official documentation of Node.js open using Node.js Testrunner, but let's see if cross-page testing Node.js tutorial. Is there such a tutorial? Full course for beginners, 6.5 hours. Okay. Cross-page testing. Fiesta API documentation. Maybe first we will try to use the official Node.js test runner documentation and see how it is working. Maybe first for this purpose we could actually use AI. I just go out of this folder. I will ask it, can you give me prompts so I can create this folder structure? Absolutely. No, I meant for Windows PowerShell. Okay, source and test. Okay, this looks fine. Source test, we have global index.db.js. Okay, this looks fine. Okay, then install dependencies. npm init -y. Okay, then we need to install concurrently. Ah, fuck, guys. I have installed it into the wrong folder. Shit. I need to go. No, fuck it. cd example. cd example. Okay. I think we'll delete them. Shit. Yeah, I have made them in the wrong folder. We start with npm init. And then we will install concurrently. Okay, this looks good. Page index.js test echo concurrently. Let's see what is here. Package JSON and um, and under scripts. Yeah, I think we should keep that. Maybe except for the dependencies. Just for everything. Okay. Yeah, this is the package JSON. Here are some things you always want, so put them in your base setup file like the following. This file will get imported by other more bespoke setups. Setups. General setup, JavaScript. For each setup, create a dedicated setup file ensuring the base setup MJS file is imported within each. There are a number of reasons to isolate the setups, but the most obvious reason is Wayagini performance. Much of what you may be setting up are environment-specific mock stubs, which can be quite expensive and will slow down test runs. General setup. Okay, is there a file called general setup? Source, app, no app, test, global setup MJS, and global service. Yeah, but I don't know. But other test setup MJS files still must be in plain JavaScript. TypeScript is supported here after. Okay, then for each setup, create a dedicated setup file ensuring the base setup MJS file is imported within each. There are a number of reasons to isolate the setups, but the most obvious reason, performance. Much of what you may be setting up are environment-specific mock stubs, which can be quite expensive and will slow down test runs. You want to avoid those costs, literal money you pay to CA, time wasting for tests to finish, etc. when you don't need them. Each example below was taken from real-world projects. They may not be appropriate, applicable to yours, but each demonstrate general concepts that are broadly applicable. Dynamically generating test cases. Sometimes you may want to dynamically generate test cases. For instance, you want to test the same thing across a bunch of files. This is possible, albeit slightly arcane. You must use test and cannot use describe context. Test context. Test. Simple example. So we have import assert, node assert strict, import test from node test, import detected operating system and user agent from const user agent. Test detect operating system via user agent. Concurrency true. Yeah, but where do I put this in? Hey, this is always so confusing to me when I have like these tutorials. But like they expect you to, you're fucking rocket scientists, to use them. And I now be like test node test set not found. Cannot find package imported from. Okay. We need to type in this detect operating system and user agent. What is this? Yeah, that's I don't know. What should yeah, let's give him the whole code. Maybe it will find something. helpful. I'm also just lost right now. What I'm doing. Yeah, I also kind of thought of that. How to fix it? To your module. Um, hmm, okay. But detect operating system and user agent.js. I have not such file. There is no such file. But maybe in the source app file, we will just make a new file. Detect operating system in user agent.js. Setup MJS, and then we just need to do node ---- test. Look at this. We have run a test. Test global index.js. Okay, whatever. It passed some tests. Import detect operating system in user agent from source. Named export detect operating system in user agent. Not found. Detect OS in user agent .js. Not found. The requested module is a common JS module which is not supported. All module export and all module exports as named exports. Common JS module can always be imported via the default export, for example, using import package from source app detect operating system and user agent. Detect operating system and user agent quits package. Node.js. So here setup UEM.js. It's not failing because nothing is in there. And this one is failing because there is something in there. Detect operating system and user agent. I even think maybe this is because Test 5, pass 4, fail 1, cancelled, skip, duration, failing tests, test at setup MJS, test failed. Okay, one test has failed. We have run 5, seems so. Okay. Maybe this error is from the package JSON. Yeah, but whatever. Is this because the file is empty? No, the file is being empty is not the cause of the error. You seem two completely different issues. The second one is the real blocker now. Let's break it down cleanly. Was this the first error caused by an empty file? Happened because you literally had Node tried to resolve a Node module named and failed. Your current error is different. Node did find the file, but the file is common.js, not ES module. And it does not export the named export called detect operating system user agent. Why not think it is common.js? Okay. And we need to add this in our package JSON file. Okay. Yeah, but it was written that those examples are maybe too big for little projects like ours here for testing purposes, testing of testing, and one day you need to test my testing of the testing, and then we'll probably get somewhere. We need to, oh fuck, we need to put in type module. Comma. And then we can maybe rerun this. This looks better now. Failing test. But it's not complaining about like other shit. Detect operating system via user agent. Detect operating via user agent. Test 6 now. Suits 2, pass 4, fail 2. Duration tests. Tests at test setup MJS. Assertion error. Expected value be strictly equal, undefined, equals win. Test context at test run sync. Generated message true, code error assertion. Yeah, this is probably because the function is not defined. Okay. It is this. Okay, it returns undefined, probably because yeah, it's because the function is not defined. Okay, so we have run our first Node.js test with the official Node.js test running setup. In the next episode, we will continue working on this tutorial, and maybe one day I actually will understand how to use test cases in Node.js professionally.